Hey everyone, gonna do some commentary today for Heroic Ultraxion from the tank POV in Dragon Soul. So at the beginning of this fight, you're gonna want to actually pop all your defensive cooldowns. It's kind of weird, but shortly into this fight, they're all gonna get reset. So we want to just pop them because it's free to do so right now. And I think it's about 10 seconds in. You're gonna get a buff from Thrall that's going to reset your cooldowns, but it's also going to make them half cooldown and double duration. So, for example, like my Icebound Fortitude is going to last 24 seconds, and it's going to have a 1 minute 30-second cooldown. Vamp Blood lasts 20 seconds, has a 30-second cooldown. So you get to use them a lot. Really, really cool. One thing to note for Feral Druids, if you start the fight in cat form when Thrall like puts that buff out, you will not count as a tank and you will not get the tank buff. So very important that you are in bear form when he does that. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on all these awesome reductions on cooldowns and increased duration. That's something a lot of people don't know. So I've gotten that question a ton. So hopefully that'll help you out. But yeah, you're going to want to just use your defensives a lot because they're very short cooldowns. As a tank, one of the big things here, so we're going to be looking for this Hour of Twilight. This is kind of for everybody, but as a tank, you're always going to be one of the soakers here. So on 10 man, it'll be 2. On 25 man, 5 soakers. So on Foji, you can see here on this list, it just shows you like who's up to soak. I'm up for this one. All you need to do as a Blood DK is press AMS. That's it. Other tanks just use like some damage reduction. It's 300,000 shadow damage, so just whatever you gotta do to survive that. And when you're soaking, you don't press your extra action button. You will have an extra action button for this fight that takes you out of the Twilight Realm into the normal realm. But if you're soaking, do not press that. Just press the defensive cooldown you need to survive. It will give you a debuff for 2 minutes though, and you can't soak another one until that debuff goes off you. Otherwise, you'll just die. So basically you need 3 groups that are like cycling through this, and so if you're on the first one, you'll also be on the 4th one, etc. The big thing for tanks on this fight is this Fading Light debuff. So every time Fading Light gets cast, it will get cast on the current target. It'll also get cast on random raid members, but it's guaranteed to always be cast on the current target. So whoever is currently tanking will get Fading Light. Foji tracks these debuffs. I like to keep them pretty close to the middle of my screen because these have random timers. They can be really short or really long sometimes. So you want to be able to see that very easily. I also add a sound alert to my Foji for it. And I add a verbal countdown for the DBM Fading Light too. Because I know like when this goes off, it's guaranteed to go on the current tank. So you just have a lot of forewarning. You're ready to go. Even if it's the really quick one, you already know it's coming. Even if you weren't paying attention, like looking at the timer, you hear that audio countdown, you know what's about to happen. And then when Fading Light has like 1 second or less on it, press your extra action button so that you don't die. If you're in the Twilight Realm when Fading Light expires, you will just die. As soon as the debuff expires while you're in the normal realm, it'll just pull you back into the Twilight Realm. So you won't be sitting down there the whole 5 seconds. And yeah, you're just doing lots of tank swaps on this fight. At the beginning of the fight, you can kind of taunt back and forth to allow each other to have max vengeance the whole time. But at this point, you're just tank swapping as part of the fight anyway. For like Bone Shield, we're trying to keep that up 100% of the time. Vamp Blood is really good to use each soak if you can. Obviously, use it to keep yourself alive if you need to, but if you can time it to use every time a soak is happening, it lasts 20 seconds, so it's not too tough to do that. But if you can use it around every time a soak's happening, it just helps people out. I'm actually not sure if it takes a buff away from them when you change realms, but it will for sure help the people who are also soaking with you. And helps people get topped off like before, you know, their soak is happening. And then any hour of twilight, you're not soaking. You're making sure you press your button at 1 second or fewer. If you really want to min-max it, you can do it at like 0.1 seconds. I usually just play it safe and do it a little bit earlier, but whatever you're feeling, if you feel like you can do it perfectly every single time, do it. But you're most likely getting, I think it's about 15 to 17 fading lights as a tank over the course of the fight on 25 man. So you are dealing with this mechanic a ton. So also very good to have a good keybind for your extraction button. Something you're going to be able to reliably press on time, you know, 15 plus times a fight. If it's even a button you might mess up pressing 1 in 100 times, that's really only like pulling this boss, you know, 6-ish times. So yeah, just make sure you have a really good bind for it. And make sure these debuffs are in a good spot, because as a tank, pretty much the entire fight for you is taunting every time the other tank gets the fading light debuff, and them taunting off you when you get it. This other debuff I'm tracking in the middle of my screen, when you come out of fading light, you actually take 100% increased damage for 5 seconds. So it's important to watch that, because if you taunt while you still have that on, you're going to take double damage. Sometimes you may need to taunt a little bit early, and you should just wall for that. It's very, very rare for timing, but it can happen. But really, really try to not taunt until this debuff coming out of the Twilight Realm has gone off of you. And then, yeah, that's the whole fight. As a Blood DK in particular, you can pump a lot of damage on this fight. I should mention too, Dancing Rune Weapon counts as a defensive. It lasts twice as long and has a half cooldown, so you get to use it a lot. But I would go, if you're progging this, I would honestly just go full offensive talents, as offensive as you can with your gearing, because your extra defensives just kind of carry you through this fight. You just need to press your buttons, and that'll make up for like having, you know, less mastery, less stamina, not having the toughness talent, things like that. So just really utilize these extra buffed cooldowns you get, and you can pump a ton of damage. You can very easily do over 40k damage, even closer to 50k DPS. And that will be very, very helpful, because a lot of the early kills are going to be close to the Berserk timer. And it is an instant wipe as soon as he casts his Berserk ability. He does a little cast for it, but once that cast goes off, it's over. But that's the whole fight. It's actually, I like it as a tank fight. Some people don't, but it's fun to just pump on this fight. And yeah, I would go full offensive setup for this for sure. But that's it. I hope you guys found this helpful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.